I don't think I have a favourite Christmas film. I think that the nature of these films, that the peace and love, the nativity story, the Santa antics has all kind of been done again and again and again. I feel like it's hard to come across anything unique these days. It's almost like it comes down to who told the better story. Sure, I'll sit down and watch some new ones out of curiosity, avoid the Hallmark Channel at all costs, and enjoy films that have to warp reality so much just to give you that festive cheer. And I think that's maybe why I come back to Jingle All the Way each year, as it unabashedly holds a mirror up to what Christmas had become in the tail end of the 1990s. And like everything America does, it's also a warning to what's to come for the rest of the Western world. Jingle All the Way starts off with lulling you into believing that this film will be about a workaholic father's attempt to make it home before Christmas. Well, it actually starts off with the final episode of Turbo Man, a clear parody of the then very popular series Power Rangers. But yes, it sets up that our leading man Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to miss his son's big moment, the premiere of The Phantom Menace. But this story beat is finished while the credits are still on screen, and soon enough the true meaning of Jingle All the Way is revealed. A son's wish of receiving the Christmas toy of the year, a Turbo Man doll. But get this, Mr. Schwartz forgot to pick one up, and he's only got Christmas Eve to get it. And on top of that, he's also promised his son to be at the Christmas parade at 3 PM. So yes, there's still this element of, will he be with his family on time? But the journey to this point and the film's main influence was the growing craze around getting your child the must-have toy for Christmas, a theme the film hits so well it somewhat predicted that year's Tickle Me Elmo incident.
And one of the clerks was sent to hospital after being trampled in the frenzy.
Somebody in the crowd yelled, "There's the Elmos," and they rushed us.
This was peak Elmo craze, which sadly took a nosedive with the new edition of next year's model.
Says the Elmo doll that she bought for her 2-year-old son is now making death threats.
Yeah, some parts of this film it may as well just be a recreation of that event. And this desperate, chaotic chase of a capitalist-fueled Christmas descends into insanity the longer Schwartz goes without a doll. From being laughed at for his incompetence, to chasing down women on the streets, chasing children through ballparks and getting called a pervert.
Ow!
Sicko! Pervert!
Ow!
Get your hands off
I
my
need the
kid!
ball!
To collusions with corrupt mall Santas that flows into a fight scene, including a Santa boss battle, ending in a police raid? There's even a nice nod to the Unabomber, as another desperate father keeps the police back with a bomb threat. Yes, notice how I didn't say fake bomb threat. This film doesn't hold back. But it keeps going, stealing presents from other families, stealing the identity of Turbo Man, leading into a way too long jetpack flight sequence that brings this film into the realm of cartoon. There's not an answer to when does Jingle All the Way chill the fuck out. There's even this running gag about everyone hating Turbo Man's sidekick, which ends in street violence.
We hate you!
And we can't stop at the fact that this weatherman has the best name ever.
I'm Weatherman Gale Force.
Jingle All the Way is a clear critique of the consumer nightmare Christmas has slowly warped into. As the film goes on, you think the importance of having the must-have doll would slowly wither away, and that having your dad there would be the real gift. But throughout the film, it's hammered in exactly how important it is to get this doll. The competing father enlightens Schwartz with a tale of him not receiving his desired Christmas gift when he was a kid. And we get this panicked hallucination that if his son doesn't get a Turbo Man doll, Jake Lloyd will turn into a drunk who'll be delivering mail for a living. And the penultimate moment when little Annie is given the doll and finally realizes his dad is indeed Turbo Man, we sort of get this realization that all he wanted was his dad, but not really. It's completely dependent on this outlandish end sequence in which his son rejects the doll and accepts his dad again for literally being a superhero and nothing else. Like, there's not a happy ending to this relationship unless Arnold Schwarzenegger spends half an hour flying around and destroying Christmas for the only black family in this film. Like, Arnold doesn't fess up to his wife about this whole lie of already having the doll. He literally gets caught in the act. And this crazy, unimaginable sequence is what redeems him. Once it's all over, I'm never sure exactly how I'm supposed to feel at the end of this film, as I think it's more about the journey than the destination. I really don't have anything profound or revolutionary to say about Jingle All the Way. It's clear the writer kind of just used it to vent about the world. From Christmas to domestic terrorism, and probably what it must feel like to be a father at this time of the year. Even how it feels to be outshone by other dads. There's this fantastic character played by the late great Phil Hartman, Ted, a recently divorced dad who seems to be sleeping his way around the cul-de-sac, who now has his eyes set on Schwartz's wife, Liz. He sort of just hangs around and does all the fatherly things Arnold's not around to do. And when he catches the theft of his own Turbo Man, Liz storms off with Hartman following after with this fantastic line.
You can't bench press your way out of this one.
It's a fun little B-plot which doesn't get resolved with Arnold beating him up or something, but with Liz taking actions into her own hands, which is a nice little subversion. I've used chaos or chaotic to describe this film, and I think that is the perfect word to sum it up. Another film that I would say chaos kind of defines the film in one would be Cat in the Hat. They don't really share anything beyond this one shot here, and the same composer David Newman. The score actually does have some similar parts. But both films feel like they would be far more sane and more bland if the main actor had to be swapped out with anyone else. Like, Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't the exact casting you would imagine for this film, but I think that's what makes it work, that's what makes it entertaining, and that's what gives it its chaos. Both films have scenes that work purely due to the actor involved. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger punches a reindeer in the face. We kind of accept it because we feel like that's probably what Arnold Schwarzenegger would do. And in Cat in the Hat, there's a whole infomercial scene where Mike Myers threatened to kill Mike Myers with a knife.
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident. Anything.
Cat in the Hat is a masterpiece of cinema that the world was not ready for. A true surrealistic take on a surrealistic artist's work. And Jingle All the Way was a cynical take on a cynical time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Both of these films would be probably far more forgettable and less iconic if it wasn't for all those factors.
Put that cookie down! Now!
Yes, I did just call Cat in the Hat iconic. I could waffle on more about Jingle All the Way, but I won't. Merry present day, everyone.